Let's jump right into our first segment.
What's it called? CC
Weekly.
Weekly.
That's right.
Which is our news segment.
Right. So last week we had, we'll touch on some last week news and then go to this week's news.
Okay.
Last week we talked about Pokemon Go.
Okay.
And
yeah, we did.
You were excited to try it out when it came to Canada. I was not.
I still am excited to try it out.
Yeah?
Turns out it uses a lot of data.
Yeah.
And kills your battery.
The fad's only picking up speed now. Businesses are offering free Wi-Fi and rechargeable cables for it. It's crazy, and I have downloaded it, despite saying I wasn't going to. Yeah, my child Emily wanted to play it, so I put it on my phone for her because she doesn't have a cell phone of her own because she's only 14, and she was playing, and then I sort of tried it out, and then last night Colleen was like, "Baby, I caught a Pidgey, or I can't even pronounce. She said it so incorrectly. I can't even say how she said
I swiveled.
it. But don't swivel.
Sorry.
But anyway, so I was like, well, maybe I'll try it out, and I started playing it, and it's kind of fun.
Man, it looks awesome.
I have found myself driving 5 kilometers an hour now.
Wow.
To trick the phone into thinking I'm walking.
Wow. Why don't you walk? Oh my gosh.
Pokemon Drive. That's what I'm all about.
That is funny. Yeah, I downloaded it. I was super pumped. It turns out I don't really have a data package on my phone. It's very, very small, which I use just for Twitter. And, yeah, just couldn't do it. I had to get rid of it until I get a better data plan.
All right.
So I want to play it, but I haven't.
It's pretty fun. It's I can see the addiction.
Yeah, me too.
I think it'll be around for a bit. I don't think I'm going to be like crazy. I won't spend any money on it.
No, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it.
No, but it's fun. We have an ice cream shop right up the street, which is also a Pokestop, which is convenient now because the kids, instead of asking to go for ice cream, ask if we can go to a Pokestop. Colleen agrees because she wants to catch Pokemon. And,
win-win. And you get ice cream.
Then I get ice cream. That's right. Last night she got a Slowbro, and I had a 2-scoop chocolate peanut butter parfait.
There's a Slowbro joke in there somewhere.
So that's Pokemon Go. It's still going strong. Pokemon going strong.
Wow.
So next up, this news. This one's big. The NES Classic Edition.
Yeah.
Nintendo announced last week that they would be releasing a mini NES this holiday season, November 11th. It goes on sale for an MSRP of $59.99. So that's American, so like 300 Canadian.
It's essentially like a small emulation box that you can
exactly. It's similar, very similar to the Atari plug and plays, the Sega plug and plays, except it's being, if not made, it's being quality controlled by Nintendo. Where those guys were done by Flashback.
So what games are on it? How many, first of all?
30 games. So you get 30 games for $60.
Okay.
If you were to buy these games on the eShop, NES games on the Wii U eShop are $4.99 a piece.
Yeah.
So that would be $150. Right? $5, 30 games, $150.
That's a good deal then.
It's a great deal. It's less than a
physical, right?
Well, the games aren't physical.
Right.
All they've announced so far is the NES itself. It looks like it's about, according to the images here online, you can see that it's about half the size, maybe a quarter the size of an actual NES.
The size of this guy's hand here. That's
tiny.
There's
a comparison. Show them next to each other.
Okay.
But the controllers are full-size controllers, and they're able to plug into your Wiimotes. So if you buy the controllers, which are only $10, you can actually plug them into your Wiimote and play eShop games you might already own. So this product, anyway, so we'll talk about the product in a second. 30 games. So it comes with Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Kirby's Adventure, Super Mario Bros. 2, Dr. Mario, Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream, Bubble Bobble, Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Double Dragon 2, Gradius.
No Castlevania 3?
No. Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden, Final Fantasy, Galaga, Ghosts and Goblins, Pac-Man, Super C, Tecmo Bowl. It's crazy. 30 games, and they're all quality games.
Yeah.
But even regardless, it's 30 games. That's $2 a piece.
Yeah, there's really nothing here I wouldn't play. Maybe the Tecmo Bowl, but
so
yeah, looks good.
So we got to talk about 30. So it's $2 a game. Is that worth it? Well, if you're somebody who is tech savvy and you can get a a Raspberry Pi and the RetroPie software loaded up, that'll cost you about $100, and you can play every game on every system.
Yeah.
This isn't targeted for those people, and not everybody's able to do that. As well, you could just buy the games and you could just emulate the games on your computer. Again, not everybody's aware of that, and then you're not playing it with an actual NES controller. You're playing it with maybe a plug-in play USB NES controller or Xbox 360 controller, PS3 controller, stuff like that. But this isn't targeting those people. This is specifically targeting, this isn't. I hear a lot of podcasts and I watch a couple of YouTube shows, and a lot of people are saying how this, they're talking about it like it was made for collectors, like it was made for us, but it's not. This is the target audience that is aimed at is not listening to this podcast. They're not watching these YouTube shows. The target audience that this is aimed at is casual gamers who remember having an NES, who don't have one now, who want to get one for their kids maybe, because they can throw it in their kid's bedroom for $60, give them 30 games they can play on their HD TV, because it is HDMI output.
Oh, yeah.
This is 100% not aimed at collectors, not aimed at retro gamers. It is 100% aimed at current or casual gamers or non-gamers who remember playing this as a kid. So for those people who are watching or listening, who are seeing this announcement, they're like, oh man, that's great, but it'd be better if they offered this, or that's not for me, I could just do this. Do those things. It's not for you. It's not for you. It's aimed at other people. It's aimed at grandparents. It's aimed at parents. It's not aimed at people who have a wall of games behind them who ridiculously collect everything. It's not meant for that. That's why the 30 games they chose are 30 popular games that people in the 80s and early 90s would have played.
Yep.
It's 30 popular titles from their eShop, 30 recognizable titles. It's why you don't see rare titles. It's why you don't have Little Samson on there. That's why that's who it's designed for. And on top of that, Nintendo doesn't have a game or console coming this holiday season.
Really?
So nothing.
No games.
Maybe
What about
the new Paper Mario, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is essentially Nintendo's way of saying the 2016 holiday season won't be a write-off because this is going to fucking fly off shelves. Yeah. Whenever this comes out November 11th, November 12th, these will be sold out everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Guaranteed.
But yeah, like you said, I mean, even though it isn't targeted at us per se, we're going to buy these things. Like, people in the club, they're going to buy this. Like, people are going to buy these.
They are.
They're awesome. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't need it. A Raspberry Pi would be awesome and would replace it, but this is cool looking. Look at this thing. Yeah. It's pretty sick.
They're specifically targeting nostalgia. They're specifically targeting that same market of people who bought the Wii. 144 million Wii's sold. You know why 144 million Wii's sold? Because they took the confusing controllers of nowadays and switched it back to the old style. You flip that Wii controller on its side, it's an NES controller.
Wow. Is it 104? I think it's 101 million Wii's.
Maybe it was 144 PS2s.
I think it was DS's that sold 144.
We're going to have to look into that, and you'll see a quotation here at the bottom of which one of us was right, but I thought for sure it was 144 million.
I get to have my name here saying I'm right? Oh, man, I can't wait.
We'll see. So anyway, that's the NES Classic Edition. I'm excited about it because I'm going to get one for my daughter.
Yeah, right.
Well, it'll go in her room. Right now, see, I have a Retron 5.
You will be playing this thing, man.
I already have all of the 30 games on here that I would want to play, I already own.
Really?
Yeah. So this isn't for me, but for my kid to throw it in her bedroom, let her have 30 NES games she can play because she likes playing the NES. I don't need it because I have the Retron 5 hooked up to the TV in the basement.
I think it's awesome. Do you think there will be a mini SNES?
Oh my goodness, I hope so.
Me too.
Again, I already my SNES want list is very, very small at this point. I already have most of the games I want for it, so I'm not sure what they could put on there I don't have. But again, it's something I would buy.
That's cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. November 11th is going to be a big day.
It will be.
So $60 in the States is probably about $80 here.
Shit, I won't be getting it right away. But
so
I would
$80 for 30 games is not. It's $3 a game, just shy of $3 a game. Not. It's still a much better deal.
It's cool,
and it is cool looking. You could introduce Avery to the NES on an NES.
True. Plus, you don't have to worry about servers going down. It's on this machine forever, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's another good thing.
Yeah, it's physical media.
Yeah, what's going on in the club this week?
Lots going on, I think. Big thing that I wanted to mention first is I listened to Retro Fandango on NARC.
Okay.
Did you get a chance to hear it?
I did hear that, yeah.
Awesome. Loved it. A lot of great stories. I feel bad for Kevin. His stories. I just want to give that guy a hug. His mom wouldn't let him buy ice cream from the ice cream truck, and he wasn't allowed to throw rocks at cars.
Yeah.
No, he said his parents were on him all the time. Like, I feel bad for the guy. He was kind of sad in that episode a little bit. He doesn't like roller coasters. I feel bad for him.
Yep. But it was a great show. A lot of Star Wars trivia, which I loved.
Yeah. Richard killed that.
Oh, he tore it up. Yeah. Way to go, Rambox. I'm a little upset.
Kevin did good too, though.
Yeah.
I want to give Kevin a hug.
You spend so much time arguing with him on Twitter. Now
I love Kevin. I love you, Kevin.
Yeah, it was a great show. I am upset that none of you got the answer for what planet did Princess Leia initially tell Grand Moff Tarkin was the location of the Rebel base, as Dantooine.
Is it Dantooine?
Dantooine, yeah. And he was like, after she told him, he still decided to destroy Alderaan, and she was like, but I told you the location. And he was like, that's far too remote a location to make a proper example. Anyway, you guys should have got that. But it was a great show, yeah. Rip should definitely be in jail. Based on the things that he did as a child, you have so you did all these terrible things as a child, and now you have a great job, a beautiful wife, a perfect child, a huge NES collection, you live in a gorgeous state. Something really bad is going to happen to you, man. Like, that's just how karma works.
Bit, man. You got bit. That's all.
He's got way worse than that.
It's all balanced now.
Way worse than that. But yeah, that was a good episode. So
definitely check it out.
Check out the Retro Fandango boys on the Narc podcast.
Yeah, and send Kevin some love. He gets a lot of hate.
Send him some ice cream.
I'm gonna send that boy some more love.
I'm gonna see him in Ontario. I'll take him out to the Dickie D and I'll buy him a rocket.
Dickie D, yeah. I'm surprised John didn't mention Dickie D.
Well,
you mentioned Atlantic Playland though. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool. Anyway.
So that was the Narc podcast. What else we got? There was a new bonus barrel on Monday.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. They brought Shelby back for another one.
Yeah, I actually listened. I don't normally, because I'm trying to get caught up on them, but I wanted to listen to the newest ones for this. And yeah, it was good having a guest on.
Yeah, they talked about genres and what defines genres. Seiji had some really good points. How Portal is a first-person shooter.
Wait, Seiji was on that one?
Yeah. It was Seiji, Rob, and Shelby. Left couldn't make it.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of last week's then.
Oh, so you didn't listen to this.
So Shelby was on 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, last week, Rob made a point where games should sexualize minorities more, and I think I agree with him completely.
That's a good point.
It was a slip of the tongue, but I agree completely.
So that's Bonus Barrel, so definitely check them out.
Yep, definitely check out Bonus. Again, we're going to always shout out Bonus Barrel. They're awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
They need more people.
What other shows were up last week, podcast-wise? Did we get any more from the club? Oh, STC. Yeah. This week's STC. Actually, today is Friday, and I listened to the show this morning.
Day 0.
Oh, man.
Or I guess it's day 1.
Hashtag Day 0 listener. If you're an STC fan and you're not listening on Day 0, you're not a big enough fan. Because they, I am chomping at the bit now for next week's episode. They haven't even recorded it yet. They haven't even thought about what they're going to talk about. I'm chomping at the bit.
Well, I only listened to last week, which I guess is still the newest. Anyway, what happened in this one?
It was great. They talked about hot dogs and using bread.
All right, don't spoil it. You're spoiling stuff.
Sorry. They talked about hot dog eating methods. They talked about...
Did they mention where Joe's getting his money?
Nope, they did not. So that's something I want to bring up. That's a bone of contention with the bros here. They did mention that we talked about them last week on the update, and they felt that we were giving them shit, that we were giving them a blast. But we weren't. I
love STZ.
Yeah, like P2 was saying he really enjoyed the On the Road.
I really did. I wasn't joking when I said I liked it.
Yeah.
He must have been referring to your comment.
He must have been referring to my comment, yeah.
I liked the On the Road. I wish they would do more of it. Because I don't get to go yard sailing that much, so hearing his was great. Anyway.
So, so this... Joe's got a secret fund somewhere. Joe's been getting money on the side. And we're not sure where it's coming from. So it's either...
We know.
Well, yeah, we think we know. So
we know.
we gotta look at this. We gotta ask ourselves, what do we know about Joe? So we know that Joe is an honest man. He's a hard worker.
No, I don't want to call him out on camera here.
You don't want to call him out on camera?
No, you did enough of that on Twitter.
All right. So Joe, we want to know. The fans want to know, where is the extra money coming from?
Where's that money coming from, Joe?
You gotta let us know, man. You gotta let us know. I think we're right. I think we figured it out.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out like a month ago.
No refunds, buddy. No refunds.
All
right. That's STC.
Yeah. Q-Dogs.
Q-Dogs in the Q-Dog hoster.
Mrs. Q-Dog is looking for a podcast app.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggested iTunes because it's the best.
No.
Apparently that's not a thing she's willing to do.
It's not very good anymore. Podcast Addict.
Yeah.
I have all my podcasts on there. Never had a problem, and it's free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get it. It's great. That's my recommendation. If you guys have any others, maybe put it below and we'll pass it on to her.
So that's Q Dogs. Mm-hmm. There was no other videos this week other than them. There is an exclusive tomorrow, so when you're hearing this, it would have gone up yesterday.
Okay.
That's gonna fuck me up with the.
I'm already confused.
Timing. There should be a new retro nonsense video up. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, it's coming up.
Duke's been teasing it pretty hard. I think it's another music video.
Yeah, didn't he say it was?
Yeah.
I think he said that today. Man, I'm excited.
Yeah, they do some good stuff. High quality production over at the Retro Nonsense family.
Yeah, depending on when that comes out. Like if it comes out while we're recording the podcast, we're gonna have to put a delay on that.
Yeah.
Just pause everything.
Yeah, so we are recording Majora's Mask podcast tomorrow. That's not really news. You'll hear that on the 31st or 30th.
Yep.
Whatever this month has. Why don't you talk about Beat My Score?
All right, I haven't had a chance to play Pac-Man, but Steven Eider's cheating somehow and has the high score. You got like 40-something thousand points or something?
Steven throws in Donkey Kong Country and face rolls through it in like an hour and a half. And he's like, I don't understand why everybody thinks this game's so hard. I have a bad Steven impression, but
it's not hard.
And he rolls through it. So then he throws in Pac-Man for Beat My Score.
That might be harder.
And he's playing that while he's organizing his mound of anime dolls and rearranging his Transformers and his
filing his complaints from his landlord into the folders, proper folders.
And and he's like, "Oh, 40,000. I guess that's enough for tonight." Click.
Yeah, man, he killed it. I was blown away when I seen that score. So it makes me really want to try it. I don't have it a copy of it yet, but I'm gonna get it.
Okay. So if you want to get involved in that, Beat My Score over at the forums.
Go beat Steven.
It's
still Steven at the top, right? Or is it Kyle? No, it's Steven.
It's Steven right now, yeah. It's over on the forums at www.cartridgeclub.org. And the game for all summer long is Pac-Man, so you got all kinds of time to get into that and practice.
Definitely get in.
Get on Steven's level.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That guy's a whole nother level.
So what do we got else? Barry Game Exchange. That should have gone in the news update.
That's okay.
I'm going to throw it in CC update.
College is part of the club, man.
That's right. So we got coming up August 21st in Barrie, Ontario at the Army-Navy Club. It's the Barrie Game Exchange. It's the largest Cartridge Club supported game exchange in Canada.
Cartridge Club presents the Barrie Game Exchange?
I think he just forgot to put that on his title cards.
Next year.
Yeah, so the next Barrie game will be the Cartridge Club presents
the
Barrie Game Exchange
featuring
Buried on Mars.
Right. Either way, it's going to be a big showing for Cartridge Club members.
Yeah. A lot of us driving up there, driving in, flying in. Yeah. And then afterwards, Bill throwing a huge barbecue bash in his house.
Very graciously,
I think him and Joe are co-hosting. Bill said he was going to provide the location and the food, and Joe's going to cook for everyone.
Oh,
I think is how it's going down.
That's awfully nice of Joe. I didn't know that him and Bill were that close.
They are, yeah. They're. I don't think Joe might not even show up. Joe's
going. He's going. CC Spotlight. Who's spotlighting this week?
This week we are spotlighting a Cartridge Club member who
the classiest.
He is the classiest. He's been on a couple episodes.
Yeah.
He's very active on the forums. He's active on Twitter. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's a great blogger for the Gaming Rebellion website. Yeah. And we mentioned the CC Spotlight is going to be sort of like a player.
He's on Retroware too, I think.
Yes, he is. He's also on Retroware. He is a big deal. I'm actually sporting his look today with the shaved head and beard.
Yeah, you kind of are. I like it.
So the CC Spotlight is like a player of the week, and there is nobody in the Cartridge Club who is a bigger player of the week than Brazzle the Gamer.
Yeah.
So with 1 day left to order the T-shirts, a longtime Cartridge Club member, Mystic182, whose new name is something else.
Beastat.
Yeah, Beast. There you go, Beastat. He wanted to get a shirt, and he was unable to get one that day, and he was going to miss out. So he sent us a tweet asking if we could delay the T-shirt. And I don't know of any way to do that, so we were unable to help him. Yeah. And right away, without hesitation, without prompting, Brazzle the Gamer jumped on Twitter and said, "Hey man, I'll order you a shirt. You PayPal me the funds when you can, and we'll make sure you get one."
That's a class act, man.
Blew me away.
Nice guy.
On top of helping somebody out, completely out of the blue, just another example of how great the Cartridge Club community is. He's also a fantastic YouTuber and a great blogger. If you go to his channel on YouTube, he's got so many good videos on there. He's funny. He's informative. His editing technique has really picked it up. He has the second best Mega Man comparison video
It
on
might
the web
be
right now.
number one.
No, it's the second best. It's Mega Man X3 versus X1.
1 and 2.
And it's so well done, so well put together. He's a blogger on Retroware and on Gaming Rebellion. I don't know how he has time for anything else.
I know. Yeah.
And he still makes his way over to the forum. So Brazzle the Gamer, definitely check him out. I'm going to throw all of his links down here in the description.
Tony Brazzle.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think if he gets to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, he said he was going to officially change his name to Brazzers. Is that what he said?
I don't...
Brazzers the Gamer? Is that a thing?
I don't think that's what he said.
Somebody did up a logo of his name
Oh,
in the
okay.
Brazzers
I'm going to have to check
font.
that out.
Oh, it was funny. He laughed, but he said he couldn't use it because...
I can only imagine why not.
So that's our CC Spotlight for the week of July 24th.
Definitely check out Brazzle the Gamer. He's awesome. I'm sure he'll be on more episodes coming up too. What do you want to rant about?
I want to rant about
let's
fanboy.
go.
The word fanboy.
Just because of Kevin?
It's not because of Kevin.
I love Kevin.
It's not because of Kevin.
Kevin's my favorite fanboy.
Kevin's not a fanboy.
He's not?
Kevin just likes games. All right, so we're gonna do rants. We're doing rants because this is when it comes in this show. We're gonna save Musty for answers. We're still new at this. It's episode 2. We're getting confused here.
We are rusty.
So CC rants. So this week I want to rant about the word fanboy and what it means.
The funny thing is, I'm sure we've said that we were fanboys before, but I don't think we really understood what people think fanboy means.
Yeah, so I am a Nintendo fan, and I am a boy, and I support Nintendo. And based on the fact that Nintendo was the console that influenced me the most growing up, I prefer them to other gaming consoles. As well, for me, I believe their games are a better quality game. They're more in line with what I want to play. They're more in line with what I enjoy. That doesn't mean that I think games on the Dreamcast are bad or games on the Xbox are bad. It means that I prefer Nintendo. Now,
it doesn't mean you don't think they can do any wrong. Because I think that's what people think a fanboy is. Right?
I definitely, when Nintendo makes mistakes, I can admit mistakes.
They make mistakes.
You know what I mean? I will give them the benefit of the doubt initially and say that they're going to do well. Like when they said they were going to release mobile games, and a lot of people thought, they're going to do it half-assed and it's not going to be good. I said, you know what? I'm going to wait. They do games well. I imagine they'll be okay. They released Miitomo. It was, I played that for 5 minutes, and then and that was it for me, and it wasn't very good. But what they did after that was Pokemon Go, which has now made them worth more than all of Sony, who is a giant company.
Yeah. Well, technically, they didn't do that.
No, but they licensed the game to a company. Right. They said, here's what we have. You do this well. Make it happen.
Yeah.
So, the term fanboy, for me, it doesn't mean I am blind to every mistake they can make. It just means that I prefer to play them. I drive a Mazda 3 right now. And when I'm done with that, I will likely get a Mazda CX-5. The reason I do that is because their fuel economy is through the roof, their safety is through the roof, I like the way they look, and they are cost effective to buy. Now, that doesn't mean that I think Mazda makes no mistakes, and it doesn't mean that I hate every other car. It just means that I prefer Mazda, that's what I'm going to drive. I prefer Nintendo, that's what I'm going to play.
Right.
Yeah. As to... So sometimes that gets confused with, you might hear myself or P2 say disparaging comments about Microsoft, specifically Microsoft. Xbox as a whole, I'm sure, has fun games. You're actually going to, in the CC Answers portion, you're going to hear me talk about some of those games. Really? I'm currently playing Gears of War, and I'm enjoying that. I'm playing it with Barrett on Mars Online. I'm having a really good time. It's a franchise I wanted to play.
Is that going to be one of the answers to Musty's thing?
No, not Gears of War.
Carry on.
It's a franchise I wanted to play. I'm glad I'm getting that chance on the brand new Xbox that I got for $25. But Microsoft as a company, I don't like. I don't agree with their policies. I don't agree with how they do business. I don't buy PC computers. I don't buy Windows phones. And I prefer to not buy their gaming consoles. Mostly because I find a lot of the target audience that they're aiming for is a lot of first-person shooters and a lot of racing games. Two complete genres that I have almost zero interest in.
Doesn't mean they're bad.
No.
You just don't play them.
Those games, I don't want to play them, so I don't buy those consoles. But the company itself, I don't like. I prefer Apple for my computers and my phones, and I prefer Nintendo and Sony for my gaming consoles. I don't like Microsoft's policies. It doesn't mean that I think nobody should like Microsoft. It doesn't mean I think that everybody should That doesn't mean that I think that all of the things they do is terrible. It just means I don't prefer them. They're not for me. So that's what that means to me.
So you're not a fanboy?
No, I'm just a fan. I'm a supporter. Right. And Nintendo, and I keep using the word Nintendo because when I was growing up, Nintendo was that's what I had. Yeah. In my formative years, that's what I had. Now, if I grew up playing an Amiga or computers, PC gaming, maybe I'd be more attached to that. If I grew up with a Sega, maybe I would be into sports now. If I grew up... Just kidding, Sega. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been... I mean, my favorite console of all time is a close race between the PS1 and the Super Nintendo. Nintendo probably has the best track record for quality games, no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean... Yeah, just because you don't like another thing doesn't make you a fanboy. But maybe it does. Maybe that is what a fan... Maybe we don't know what a fanboy is.
Maybe. What do you think a fanboy is? Yeah. Tell us in the comments. Or better yet, make a video and post the link to the video in the comments.
Ooh,
Let us watch it. I know YouTube took away video responses, but that's an issue. We can talk about why I don't like Google. Thanks for the free hosting, though.
Oh, boy.
Go YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think you summed it up pretty well. I like good games that I'm interested in. They just happen to not be on Microsoft consoles. Although I own a 360 for the 3 games that I like on it.
Exactly.
So I'm sure it'll be the same way for Xbox One.
So next up, we got a question from Chris Roberts at CWR2 from the Narc Podcast. Yep. He wants to know, are there tacos in Canada? There is one Mexican food place in our vicinity in Halifax.
Well, we have Taco Bell.
Oh, I don't think that counts.
Oh.
If Taco Bell counts, yeah, we're lousy with those.
No, we got rid of all of them. There's only like 2 left in the whole HRM.
What?
Yeah. And they're both in the
Where am I going to go when I have to clean out?
Dude, I've been craving Taco Bell, and it's gone.
Nobody craves Taco Bell. You've been craving laxative is what you've been craving. You're backed up. So we have one tired. Mexican place in Halifax. I haven't eaten there. In all honesty, the first time I had Mexican food was at Mi Hogar in...
is that with Rip?
Yeah, with Rip in... Virginia Beach, and it was amazing, and I'm terrified to eat anything up here that we might think tastes like Mexican food.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a big Mexican food fan. Because I just thought it was Taco Bell, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't hate Taco Bell, though, so whatever.
So maybe there is tacos, maybe there isn't. We're not the best ones to ask.
Burritos?
We don't have any Mexican friends, so I don't even know who to direct you to. I guess John's almost Mexican.
Who?
John. Strawberry Payne.
John Anias Payne?
Yeah.
He's Mexican.
Almost. It's close.
Let's move on.
So next up, we have a question from Rambox at the Rambox from Retro Fandango.
Yeah. Do you put their names down here?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Do you not watch the videos?
Nope.
I see you replied to all the comments. How do you do that without watching the videos?
I listened to the audio on the podcast, and then I responded to the comments.
Ah, well done.
So I have time for podcasts, not for videos.
I hear you. He said, actually, Vintage mentioned the fact that you're too good for YouTube now.
Yeah, I responded to that. Yeah. And I said, no, he said it was too cool for him.
Right.
And I said, I wish it was true, but anyway.
So, hijacking Richard's question here. So he says, chicken nuggets and fried chicken are so similar, yet we put ketchup only on the former. Why?
Do you put ketchup on your chicken nuggets?
I do, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Well, tell him why, because I don't.
I put chicken on chicken nuggets because it's delicious, and they should be dipped. They're bite-sized, and they're held between 2 fingers. Perfect size for dipping.
Yeah, and sweet and sour sauce, not ketchup.
I don't like sweet and sour sauce because it always has those things floating in it, and I'm sure that they are part of the sweet and sour sauce, but I am always concerned that it's not.
Wow.
Because the packaging plant where that gets made, I'm sure, isn't done by the cleanest people.
Wow, let's move on.
But as to why I don't put it on fried chicken, because you eat that differently. It's not bite-sized. So if I can dunk it and fire the whole thing in my mouth, I'm putting ketchup on it.
That's a good point, though. I don't put sweet and sour sauce on my fried chicken. Good point, Richard.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah. I guess his answer.
Thank you for your question. So next up, we have Diego Avila, who is probably one of my favorite. I've been watching him more closely on Twitter now.
Yeah, he makes some good tweets.
Stalking, you might say.
He makes good comments on the forum, too.
He does, yeah. So it's at a Latino lawyer. I need to know, I have a question for you. Are you actually a lawyer?
Dude, he's a lawyer.
Because his wife is a doctor.
Holy crap, they got money!
Yeah.
They have some cute kids, too. Or at least one that I know of for sure.
We are not stalking you, I promise. So he asks, what therapy will help a friend who only grew up with Master System and Genesis? So the easy answer to that is, if you only grew up with Master System and Genesis, you're probably not really our friend. But if you want to know what we would suggest No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you my top 5 must-play games on the Super Nintendo. I'm gonna.
Holy cow!
What?
This is a long segment.
It is.
All right, go ahead.
Super Nintendo, because if you've only grew up with Master System and Genesis, the best spot for you to go from there to experience Nintendo in that era is the Super Nintendo. It's the best quality games. It's the way to do it there.
What a fanboy!
Fuck you. If he's looking at something experience outside of those two.
I understand. I understand where you're going.
So you got to play Super Metroid.
Oh yeah.
You got to play Super Mario World.
Yeah.
You got to play
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. And I would say Final Fantasy 2 if you like RPGs. If you don't like RPGs, skip Final Fantasy 2 and maybe go for Soul Blazer.
Yeah, I guess.
Or Sky Blazer.
No, not those guys.
Sky Blazer's good. Donkey Kong Country.
Mega Man X.
Oh, Mega Man X. There you go. So those 5. Super Metroid, Mega Man X, Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country 2.
Dude, were those all platformers except for one?
Yeah.
Wow. Big platformer fan.
I guess so.
Me too.
Try those 5. That's your intro to the Super Nintendo right there.
Yeah, that's a good way to get off Genesis.
And if you like RPGs, Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Or 3.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what you were playing on Genesis and Master System.
That's true. If you're hammering down Phantasy Star and Shining Force, start with Final Fantasy. And if you're playing Dynamite Headdy and Rocket Knight Adventures, go with the... You like that?
Nice pull.
Go with the other ones. Thanks for your question, Diego. So, It's Rocket Sauce. At It's Rocket Sauce. Mm-hmm. Ryan Gorman asks us, will you buy an NX on day one? I'll let you take the lead on this one.
All right. Nah, I won't be. The thing I'm excited for most on the NX, I'm going to get on my Wii U, and that's Zelda. I will be getting one eventually, don't get me wrong. It would have to release with, I don't know what it... I have the PS4 library to go through right now. It's going to be a while before I get through all that. So no, but how about you?
It's... If I purchase a PS4 this Christmas, likely not. If I do not purchase a PS4 this Christmas, then it will depend entirely on what games it comes with. Basically,
what would it have to come with for you to buy it day one?
Zelda, obviously. If it came with a side-scrolling Metroid, that would be a big bonus. And I'd also like to see another Wonderful 101, maybe a sequel, or Star Tropics. Because it's interesting. Star Tropics is on that list for the NES Mini. Why would they put it on there and keep it in our minds if they didn't want to?
Is the NES Mini being released in Japan?
I don't know. Must be. I would have to say yes.
Did they get Star Tropics? I don't think they got Star
They're getting it now. So yeah, for me it's going to depend on what it launches with. If it launches with Zelda and a Metroid, specifically side-scrolling or third-person Metroid, that's probably a yes. And I would also like to see some good third-party support. I don't need Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Battlefield, any of that stuff. But titles, even if they're just titles made specifically for the NX by those companies, as well, the price point is going to be a big one for me.
Yeah, they haven't announced that yet, have they?
No. Right. No. And if it mixes handheld, I had this weird hope that you'd be able to play your 3DS games on the NX on your TV. If that happens, that's a yes. It's an instant yes.
Interesting.
Because my 3DS is my favorite console right now.
Okay, cool.
So thanks for your question, Ryan. So I guess it's a maybe. Depends on a couple of things. What about you?
Yeah,
are you a day one purchase?
I'm curious.
Because I know you already have your PS4 and you love it. So what's your next step? I don't care what anybody else is going to do.
I do. Let me know.
All right, Bonus Barrel. So at Bonus Barrel, this is probably Rob. I think he does most of the tweeting. Rob wants to know, do either of you guys collect? I find once I decided to start collecting, it got really crazy.
He's got a lot of games.
Yeah.
He's like up to like 3,000 or something.
So 4 years ago, I got back into retro games with P2, who had already been doing it for a while at that point. And I did that. I bought everything I could get my hands on, everything I thought I wanted, all the must-haves, everything. And I very quickly got overwhelmed and let down by the fact that I was buying things that had no meaning to me, and I didn't care if I ever owned them again. And so I did a purge. And I sold all of the games that I didn't want to play, I hadn't loved playing in the past, or that weren't the quote-unquote must-haves. So now, my collection now is much more focused, is much smaller, but it's all games that are good games to me. A lot of them are considered good by critics and stuff like that, but I don't really care what those people think. What matters to me is the games to me. So I'm at the point now where I'm actually thinking about cutting out the must-haves. Because I have some games that I bought that it was like, oh, you have to have this in your collection. But I'm never going to play it. And my collection isn't for you. It's not for you. It's for me. So I don't care if everybody has to have a copy of Smash Bros. I'm never going to play it. So why the fuck do I have it sitting on my shelf?
That was a reasonable response.
You know what I mean? Sorry. Anyways, yes, I do collect, but I'm focused and I'm paring down even more. And I want to be to the point when I walk into my games room and there's not a single thing on the shelf that I wouldn't be happy to put in and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. What I buy, what I want to play. When I get it, I don't sell it, so I guess that's collecting. But I don't just collect things to collect. I have very few games on my shelf that don't belong there, and the ones that I do are from that big haul we got that.
Exactly.
Except for Time Slip, I was going to get rid of that, but Vintage had it on his hidden gems review, so I'm going to keep Time Slip now. But yeah, you're getting rid of it. You're having another purge, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I'm on the.
You have to show me those Dreamcast games before you get rid of them. I want to know.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
All of them. They're all gone. Skies of Arcadia.
That's my Skies. Don't get rid of that.
Is it? I thought I had my own.
No, if you have it here, it's mine.
Oh, okay, then it's yours. Time Stalkers, Silver.
You get rid of Silver?
Well, I don't. I'm gonna sell my Dreamcast.
Dude, that's crazy.
I'm never gonna play these games.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing on there that interests you?
No. I looked through the top 25 Dreamcast games.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta look. I'll try and find some things to convince you first, and then and then let it go if there's nothing that interests you.
Okay, you know what? I'll even throw it out there because people on Twitter tried.
Yeah, these guys too.
It's like they've never listened to anything I've ever said. All I got was there's great arcade ports and great fighters and great first-person shooters. None of that means I don't give a fuck. I'm never gonna play those games ever. I don't care if there's a million of them and they're all free. I'm never gonna fucking play them. I don't care how good they are. I'm never gonna play them. So if you're out there and you're a Dreamcast fan, PC Wizard, I'm looking at you. Tell me what RPGs there are. Maybe some survival horror that aren't first-person. Talking about you typing of the dead, and that's it. RPGs and survival horror. That's all I'm interested in. Or 2D. If it's 2D games, I'll consider it. But
Egg.
3D, oh yeah, Elemental Gimmick here. So yeah, maybe I will keep it.
No, you don't want it for that. I mean, that's not enough to keep the console. It's a good game.
Yeah, like, even my Saturn. My Saturn collection and my PS1 collection is getting pared down to RPGs and 2D games. I don't like that generation's polygons. They look like fucking vomit. Thanks for your question. Next up. Kyle.
Oh my.
From Game Time with Kyle at Kyle_325_. He asks, do you guys prefer toilet paper roll over or under? That's easy. The only answer is over. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
If you put it under,
you could do it the other way.
When you put it under, then there's a chance the roll falls down, hits the ground. Having been on the ship, you might not know that, or not having been in the Navy, you don't know this.
How would it come off? I don't understand.
Sometimes the weight of the roll will roll. So if it's down, if it hangs below, it can actually unroll itself. And I've come to see...
What?
I've seen toilet paper that was touching the ground that had been pissed on, and it had, like, sucked the piss up to the roll. Over is the only answer. Thanks for your question, Kyle.
Over for sure.
Last up, we have Cartridge Canuck, and that's at Cartridge Canuck. He asks, what the hell is the deal with the N64 controller, a.k.a. the shitty trident of Satan? I don't mind the N64 controller.
I don't either. It is weird. Don't get me wrong. I liked the Z button though. I was a huge fan of it back in the day, but it was the first time I'd ever used the analog stick.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
So if you mean by what is up with that controller, do you mean like, hey Nintendo, thanks for making the analog stick commonplace on all controllers, or do you mean I don't know what you mean?
They can break easily. The joysticks do go on them.
I think NES Payne's right on that. Nintendo designed Mario Party 2 specifically to make people do this and break their controllers.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, that's probably the biggest fault for them, but I've always liked it. It was funny because back in the day, if you had to switch up to that D-pad, it felt dirty, right? It felt like, oh, this thing uses a D-pad?
Everybody's D-pads are like so tight.
Yeah.
Brand new.
D-pad.
Joysticks are all wore to hell.
What is this, Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
But,
I don't dislike it. It is awkward. And I, for the most part, always hold the thumbstick.
Me too. I love that grip. In fact, there's a anyway. Yeah, I like that. I like the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it is weird though. What do you think about it?
Yeah. Why don't you tell us what you think?
Paul, I think we'll have a good opinion on that. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Considering he called it Satan's Trident.
Satan's Trident. So that's it for CZ Answers. Everybody.